that was the other thing is I was working from home and they couldn't, the internet at my house was so crappy. I'll remind myself to add my Frontier Communications ad that I do in here because their internet was so bad, and I'm so lazy that it took that because they couldn't do the virtual school. They couldn't join the meetings because the internet was too slow.
Right.
And they could at grandma's house and they could at my ex-wife's house. And it took that to finally get me to call and be like, what is wrong with my internet? Why can't I stream Netflix? And they're like, oh, because your internet's too slow. I'm like, well, can I speed it up? No, you cannot. No. You do not have the cables in your neighborhood to support high-speed internet. Other companies do, but not us.
Yeah, I live in Idaho, and it's a duopoly. So it's like just this race to the bottom of the internet here. And we had a similar thing. It was like I went out and spent $400 just getting doodads and updating internet stuff just so that my kids could have basic school. And then it was freezing anyways. And at that point, I'm having these like aggressive discussions about whether my daughter's $100 school issued Chromebook is the fault. I'm like, of course it is. You know, it's like, it's essentially an Etch-a-Sketch with an Ethernet port. I mean, that's all it is. And they're still going, are you sure it's your internet? And gosh, you know, it could be anything. I think I didn't practice the right dark rituals this morning, and I'm pretty sure that features into it these days.
I think that affects the Wi-Fi.
It totally does.
That's it's crazy how that works. And yeah, you're right. I would imagine in Idaho, you even have, I remember, and I was self-aware at how much of a jerk I probably sounded because I called late at night and I was talking to someone who didn't sound like he lived in this country. And I was going on a rant on how ridiculous it is that I can't watch Netflix without it stopping to buffer. And I'm going on this rant and I'm like, I feel like I might be talking to somebody who doesn't even have a television.
Right. I hope he's not going home to hunt a rat for dinner. And you're like, and I have a hangnail.
I even stopped. I'm like, I'm straight. I have to go to my parents' house to get on their Wi-Fi to do app updates on my iPhone. And then I'm like, I got to apologize. I know these are first world problems, but they are legitimate problems where I can't work. I can't log into a team meeting at work because my internet's so much slower than everyone else. I know it's complaining from privilege, but
well, yeah, yes and no, but I'll tell you what, every time I had a customer service issue, it did create this whole extra layer because it's like part of my whole platform that I've built as like a public figure, as an author, is being nice to people. And I really do mean that. Like, I'm not trying to lie. I'm trying to be a kind person. But if you're calling, you know, the help desk, it's because things are not going well. And if it's something that's gone wrong 182 times at the end of a day where it resembles, again, we're back in Thunderdome, the kids, we're trying to keep them from eating each other, me and my wife are fist fighting in the background, and then I'm going like to whoever this poor guy in India is, he's like, I know this isn't your fault, but I'm going to yell at you now for the next 45 minutes.
I'm going to let all my issues unload on you, poor soul.
Oh, I know. It's terrible. And it's such a vicious cycle. It's like you let yourself go and it just gets angrier and angrier. And of course, at the end of it, you realize like you're talking to somebody in a totally different country who is reading off of, you know, a script, and they're doing what they have to pay for their family. And then I just feel like a jerk, and my internet still doesn't work.
I do always make it a point. This is maybe a sad narcissistic thing on my end. I make it a point to try to say something to break them, meaning I like to make them laugh, not emotionally break them in a good
like
way.
They're just crying.
Yeah, no. I like to make them go because they've got their script, like you said, and I know it, and they're always looking for what I can tell you're upset, but I like to throw something so off the wall that they definitely don't have off that script that I can hear them just try to hold back the
fumbling
laughter. And I'm like, all right, you know, I'm not that angry if I'm making jokes.
Oh my gosh, that's
a good
call. That's a good call. I try and say, you know, it's funny because I'm like, I do say that. I go, I know it's not your fault, but unfortunately, you're the face of this hated corporation right now. So I'm gonna let all my murder rage come out and slap you in the face. I think your way is better. I'll try that. I'll just throw random stuff out, like, by the way, are you the guy I also order pizza with? Because that whole thing's confusing. Let's talk about that. And just try and turn it into a Domino's order right in the middle of the, of the Netflix discussion.